They say life can change in the blink of an eye, but what happens when two lives collide after years apart, with one of them hiding behind the smoke of a small food truck and the other cloaked in the polished suit of a millionaire CEO? Before I tell you this story that will pull on your heartstrings and leave you with a smile you won't forget, hit that like button and subscribe right now so you never miss a story that could change the way you look at love, forgiveness, and fate. Now, picture this. The sun is beating down on the busy streets of the city, cars honking, people rushing to work, yet there is one spot on the corner where time seems to slow down, the bright blue food truck that smells of fresh tortillas, grilled chicken, and the sweetness of roasted corn. Behind the counter stood a girl whose hands moved with the speed of lightning but whose heart carried the weight of storms. Her name was Elena. Elena had known only hard work and heartbreak since her teenage years. Her father left when she was barely 16, her mother worked herself sick in a laundromat, and by the time she turned 22, Elena had no choice but to drop her college dreams and run the food truck her uncle once owned. Life was not glamorous, but it was hers. She cooked with passion, greeted every customer with the brightest smile she could muster, and wiped away her tears when no one was looking. Yet on this particular day, as the lunch crowd gathered, something unusual stirred in the air. Elena was serving tacos to a group of construction workers when she noticed a man at the end of the line. Tall, broad-shouldered, tailored suit in the middle of summer heat, and sunglasses that probably cost more than her month's rent. He looked so out of place in the food truck line that she almost thought he was lost. But he waited patiently, not once cutting ahead, not once showing annoyance at the long line. Elena rolled her eyes. She had seen the type before. Wealthy men who thought standing in line was a charitable act, someone who would order one taco just to post it on social media before tossing it in the trash. She had no time for pretentious games, so she focused on her regulars, laughing with them, handing out hot plates, and ignoring the mysterious stranger's presence. But the stranger's gaze never left her. And when his turn finally came, Elena was already tense, her hands wiping against her apron as she asked curtly, "What'll it be?" expecting some impossible demand. Instead, his voice came calm, steady, and oddly familiar. 2 chicken tacos. Extra cilantro. Just the way you used to make them. Elena froze, her head snapping up, eyes locking onto his face as he lowered his sunglasses, revealing eyes she thought she would never see again. The world seemed to blur around her, the sounds of the busy street drowning into silence. "Still remember me?" he whispered. And in that moment, Elena's chest tightened because she knew exactly who he was. Years ago, before the food truck, before her life turned into a daily struggle, there had been a boy, kind, ambitious, and full of dreams, who used to sit with her in the high school cafeteria sharing the same tacos she made now. His name was Adrian. They were inseparable, the kind of friends who stayed up all night talking about the future, who promised to chase dreams together. But when college acceptances came, Adrian left the small town with a scholarship to one of the top universities, while Elena stayed behind to help her family. Letters turned into emails, emails turned into silence, and eventually, she convinced herself he had forgotten her. Yet here he was, standing before her, not just as Adrian, the boy she once knew, but Adrian King, the millionaire CEO whose face she had seen on magazines and billboards, the man who built a technology empire from scratch and became the pride of the city. Elena's throat went dry, but she forced herself to stay professional. "It's been a long time," she muttered, trying not to let her hands shake as she prepared his order. Adrian studied her, his expression unreadable, as though he could see right through the walls she had built around herself. "Too long," he said softly, "I didn't think I'd find you here." She wanted to snap back, to say something witty like, "Well, not everyone gets to chase their dreams," but her voice betrayed her. Instead, she handed him the plate of tacos, her eyes avoiding his. "That'll be $6, she whispered, and when he pulled out a sleek black card to pay, she shook her head. "Cash only." A faint smile tugged at his lips as he reached into his wallet and handed her a crisp 20. "Keep the change," he said, and then, after a pause, added, "Can we talk?" But Elena shook her head firmly. She didn't need pity, didn't need old memories clawing their way into her fragile present. "I've got customers waiting," she replied coldly, turning her back to him. Adrian didn't push. He simply took his plate, walked over to a nearby bench, and ate every single bite of those tacos like they were the best meal in the world. And Elena, though she tried to ignore him, couldn't stop her heart from pounding each time she caught him stealing glances her way. That night, after closing the truck, Elena sat alone counting the day's earnings, but her mind wasn't on the money. It was on him. Memories flooded back, how he once promised to take her to the city lights, how he sketched out plans for his company on napkins, how he told her she was the only one who truly believed in him. And now, he had become everything he dreamed of, while she was stuck in the same spot, selling tacos to survive. She hated the way it made her feel, small, forgotten, unworthy. But deep inside, another feeling stirred, hope. Because if Adrian had remembered her after all these years, maybe her story wasn't finished yet. Maybe fate was just beginning to write its next chapter. Don't go anywhere, because in chapter 2, the story takes a turn you won't see coming. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe right now so you don't miss what happens when the poor food truck girl and the millionaire CEO finally face the truth about their past and the love that never really died. The following morning, Elena opened her food truck expecting the usual crowd, but her heart skipped when she saw Adrian already waiting, leaning casually against a lamppost with 2 coffees in his hand. She tried to act indifferent, but he walked up and placed 1 cup on her counter. "Still the same," he said gently, "1 sugar, no cream." Memories came rushing back, but before she could protest, Adrian continued, his voice steady yet vulnerable. "I know I left, Elena. I chased success, and yes, I built everything I dreamed of. But none of it mattered, because I didn't have the one person who believed in me when no one else did. I never stopped thinking about you." Elena's defenses cracked, tears blurring her eyes. She wanted to tell him about the nights she cried herself to sleep, the years she worked to keep her family afloat, the bitterness she carried, but what came out instead was a whisper, "Why now?" Adrian stepped closer, lowering his voice like he once did in the quiet corners of their youth. "Because I don't want to waste another day without you." For the first time in years, Elena allowed herself to smile, a real one, fragile yet bright. She realized life had stolen many things from her, but maybe it had also given her this second chance. Maybe the girl from the food truck and the millionaire CEO weren't so far apart after all. Their story wasn't about money or status, but about love that had survived time, silence, and pride. And as the city roared around them, they stood still, 2 souls finding their way back home. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe right now, because sometimes the love we think is lost is only waiting to return.